Hey, welcome back. In this video, I want to show you some of the more useful Exchange Management Shell commands related to mobile devices. Now, the commands that I'm going to be showing you certainly aren't all-inclusive. This isn't intended to be a comprehensive list of every available PowerShell command or anything like that. I just want to show you a few commands that I've found helpful. And I want to start out with the command get-mobile device. Simple enough, get mobile device. So if you enter this command by itself, you're going to see a list of all of the mobile devices that are in use throughout your organization. Now, if you want to look at a specific mobile device, you can type get-mobile device followed by the identity switch and then the identity of the mobile device. Now, this is a little trickier than it sounds because the identity of the mobile device is a great big long string. So let me show you what this looks like. Okay, so here I am on my Exchange server, and I'm just going to type get-mobile device. And when I press enter, I should see a list of all of the mobile devices that are being used in my organization. So if we take a look here, we can see that this one is a Lumina 635, so that's a Windows phone. And if I scroll up a little bit, we have some other devices here. This one's an iOS device, it's an iPhone from Apple. So we get all of this wonderful device information. Now, what if we wanted to look at a specific device? If you think back to the slide, I mentioned that you can use the identity parameter to specify one individual device. But take a look at the identity. You can see the identity for a device right here. Here's the identity. It's this great big long string right here. So this isn't something you're going to be able to pull out of thin air. It's generally something that you're going to have to look up if you want to use it. So what else can we do with identity? Well, take a look at this commandlet, get-mobile device statistics. And this time the identity parameter isn't optional, it's required. So what this command does is it lets us see some statistics related to a specific mobile device that we specify with the identity parameter. So let me switch back over to Exchange and I'll show you how this command works. Okay, so I mentioned that the get mobile device statistics commandlet requires the use of the identity parameter, and that the identity was this great big long string right here. Now, I'll admit I don't want to type this. So the good news is we don't have to. We can do a copy and paste. But the technique used to do that is a little bit different than what you might be used to because PowerShell kind of has its own way of doing things. Now, thankfully, Microsoft is changing this in Windows Server 2016, but I'm using Windows Server 2012 R2 because at the time that I'm recording this video, Windows Server 2016 hasn't been released yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to this icon right here, and I'm going to go to Edit and then Mark. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to Identity, and I'm just going to click on the first letter, the P in POSI, and I'll go over here all the way to the end of the line and just select that, and then I'll click on this again and go to Edit and Copy. So now we can move forward with the get mobile device statistics commandlet. So I'm just going to type get-mobile device statistics, and then we have to use the identity switch, and then space, and then the device identity. And I can type that by clicking on the icon and going to Edit and clicking Paste. And when I press Enter, I should see the statistics for that particular device. So here we have things like first sync time, last policy update time, last sync attempt time, last successful sync, device type, device ID, device user agent. So I've got all of this really nice information that is specific to this particular device. Now the next commandlet that I want to talk about is something that you've seen before. It's the get-mobile device mailbox policy commandlet. Now as you'll recall, we used this commandlet in one of the earlier videos to reveal all of the policy settings that were available. Now when I used that command before, I followed this commandlet with the pipe symbol and then select-object and an asterisk. Well, I'm not going to do that this time because I want to show you something a little bit different. And what I want to show you is that sometimes, especially in large environments, you'll have multiple mobile device mailbox policies. So it's helpful to be able to look at the settings related to one specific policy. And the way that you do that is by using the identity switch, followed by the name of the policy that you want to look at. So let me switch over to Exchange and I'll show you how this works. So here I am in Exchange server and I'm going to type get-mobile device mailbox policy. And then what I want to do now is use the identity switch. So I'm going to say -identity, and then we need the name of the policy. Now the default policy is the only policy I've got set up right now. So let's use that. It's just called default. So I'll type that and press enter. And there are all of the settings that are associated with my default mobile mailbox policy, or mobile device mailbox policy rather. So those are just a few of the more helpful commandlets that you can use in the Exchange Management Shell when you're working with mobile devices in an Exchange 2016 environment.